How is it going, everyone? My name is Vi and welcome back to Infernum. The last series did very well and I want to thank you all for the support and the nice messages. It genuinely means a lot to see that you guys care and want to see more. And more you shall receive, as today we will be enjoying the Summoner class. By the way, in case you're new to the channel and you haven't seen the Infernum Melee playthrough that we did, I'll link it in the description below, as well as the card in the top right or wherever it is exactly. In my previous video I asked which class you would like to see next, and there was a comment saying that Summoner is quite good. I've heard that other people are saying that Summoner is the highest damage and the fastest kill time class, but they use minion mixing. For the most part, I won't be doing that. Think of it as a little bit of an extra challenge, if you will. But let's get this show on the road by exploring a little bit, finding the Trinket of Chi and the Aglet, building a little crypt for ourselves, and then the gorgeous, breathtaking and definitely highly affordable houses for our NPCs. Again, all of the mods will be in the description. If you guys want to try any of them out, I highly recommend it. But since we're playing on the not so new anymore Calamity Brainstorm update, quite a lot has changed. For starters, you can see I am no longer rushing to the Sulphurous Sea, and that is because the angler no longer drops the golden fishing rod when killed by a trasher. There are other ways to obtain enough hailstone bars in the world naturally, allowing you to get yourself a hailstone pickaxe, but we won't be doing that. If you want a more detailed way of how to do it, go check out Brother Yardis. In one of his somewhat recent videos he goes over the way to obtain enough hailstone bars. I'll leave his channel in the description, so go check him out and show him some love. For now, our main objective is to get to the jungle, as you can farm for not only the Snapthorn, which might be the best pre-hard mode whip, but also the Belladonna, a weapon that is quite strong. So after going there, we find the big tree, which for the most part is useless now, since they removed the big hive that was right under it and made a new big hive that is somewhere randomly underground. We place 2 houses and 2 NPCs so that we can get the jungle pylon, and then continue east till we get to the beach so that we can put some more houses for the beach pylon. But what do we have here? This is something new they added in the Brainstorm update. I'll call it the shimmer rig, as it looks like an old abandoned oil rig, but the main feature of this thing is to tell you where exactly the shimmer is, as it is always positioned exactly under it. But after placing some houses and getting the pylon, we go back to the jungle and start going down the tree so that we can start looking for hard crystals, ores, chests, an extractinator and different potions. I'm mostly looking for the Plantera mini biome, as it has the Belladonna in one of the chests, but also because we will need it later to fight all of the jungle bosses. Unfortunately, we didn't have a lot of luck finding it, but luckily we found pretty much everything we needed from the whole jungle for the time being. So after maxing out our life, we go back home and craft the Belladonna spirit staff. We then go to the shimmer rig and start digging down so that we can get to the shimmer. In the process we also find the spider biome, which will be useful later on, but after a little while we reach the shimmer, place 2 houses with 2 NPCs and get the shimmer pylon. After that we go back home, place a piggy bank and start banking our buffs, which, as I've said before, I prefer to have permanently activated just from a single potion, just because it's a massive annoyance for me to farm them all, and it's basically useless to buy them from an NPC over and over again, when in both cases I'll have infinite amount of them. So for ease of use, I have set my Fargo's mod to make an infinite buff out of just having a single potion in my inventory. That also includes all of the buff stations, as whenever I have a buff station in my piggy bank, it gives me the buff infinitely. The only potion I will be making will be the summoning potion, as I would say it is fair enough to at the very least get that myself. After that we quickly return to the shimmer so that we can recraft our Belladonna, because it rode a pretty bad reforge, but after crafting it again we get something useful, so we will take it and move on. We then start working on our elevator. You guys know that I love using the elevator from Fargo's, but this time I thought why not just mine it myself, because I can maybe come across something useful. And after a while we see a little gem cave that contains diamonds. So now we can get our magic storage going, even though I will cheat the Terra storage containers because I hate dealing with all of the upgrades and the little storage you get in the beginning. But I wanted to do it after finding the first diamonds as they are required for the storage and crafting units. But after a while we come across a mushroom biome which has a house, and within the chest we find our Featherfall potion. In the last series I said that I will try the Yardis tech, which is just using a permanent Featherfall for better mobility, but I was very skeptical. Very surprisingly to me, it turned out that later on, once I got used to it, I was genuinely doing better with it, so from now on I will be using it in every playthrough. I also recommend you guys try it out as well, since it is hella weird at the start, but trust the process, things get much better once you get used to it. After reaching Hell, we start going east again so that we can get to the Draydon lab, which may have some goodies. On our way there, we see that our screen dims, which in Infernum means only one thing. We have found the underground Infernum Sakura Garden. And I swear to God, every single Infernum structure is a goddamn masterpiece. Just look at this place. Massive goddamn round of applause for the Infernum devs. And speaking of Infernum masterpieces, after a while we get to the Profane Garden, from which we will get the Wayfinder. It allows us to mark the ground beneath us, which puts a portal that will never disappear, and using the item again, we can teleport to it whenever we want. After going back home, we talk to the battle expert who comes from the Prisma's Juicebox mod, and buy the cursed clock that allows us to change time, and also the shadow mirror which allows us to return to our death point. Don't forget that you won't see the curse shop if you don't have the option enabled in the mod configuration. We then go to the Crimson so that we can break a Crimson Heart, get the Undertaker for the Alms Dealer, go to the Snow biome where we make the hut into 2 houses, get the Snow Pylon, and then go to the Sulphurous Sea where again we place 2 more houses for the Sulphurous Pylon. We then skip time with the Cursed Watch for a Goblin invasion and realized that it would have been much easier to go through it all if we had, I don't know, a whip or something like that, but that might be just me. Anyway, one not so quick invasion later, we grab a gravitation potion, go to the main planetoid for the herb bags so that we can shimmer them into cans of worms. By the way, for those that do not want to cheat the power cells or use a mod like Prisma's Juicebox, you should make your way to as many of the Draydon labs as possible for the power cell factories so that you can start cell production ASAP. After going to the shimmer, we get our cans of worms, open them, shimmer a golden worm for the gummy worm, which increases fishing skill, and we conveniently find the goblin waiting for us on the other side of our houses. Always use the shimmer for the goblin search, guys, it makes it incredibly easy. After that we make our way to the underground jungle, where we make a little pool and we start fishing. Where after a quick minute we get our variegated lardfish, which we will use to make our summoner potion. We also see that someone is throwing a party, so we talk to the party girl for a slice of cake, which we immediately put in our piggy bank. After which we make our lightning boots, and after a very quick trip to the jungle for 1 moonglow, which I might have accidentally thrown away thinking that it's useless, we make our summon potion, put some platforms, finally make our snapthorn, and after around 3 hours of grinding, it is finally time to get into some boss action. When it comes to bosses, in my first Infernum playthrough I was going through almost all of the bosses and their abilities, trying to explain what they do and how it might be best to play around them. The problem with this was that eventually the bosses lived for barely a minute while having close to 10 attacks that I somewhat wanted to go over just to try and explain them a little, but I couldn't show them. As a prime example, we had the Calamitous clone. The fight went on for less than a minute, but I was yapping about her abilities for more than 5 minutes, which at least to me felt pretty bad. With all of that being said, I already went through almost all of the bosses once, and from now on I will just be showing the boss fight with some music, letting you guys enjoy it normally, and if I have any tips I will let you know. But now it is time for King Slime, for who I have 2 tips. Tip 1 is movement. If you see how I move a little later in the fight, you can see how he's just jumping left and right, never hitting me. Just stay in one place and move around when you see the gem is shooting, and you should be able to dodge every single jump. And tip 2 is the ninja. Again, he doesn't shoot if you're too close to him, but they made him jump around so that he has enough distance in order to shoot, so again, be careful. After a little less than a minute we kill him, get the trophy, go and place it, and we see that it's nighttime, so we spawn the eye. You can see our Belladonna is doing very good work, as the shots it fires are aimed very well, even though there is a miss or two every once in a while. Little tip for the eye, always have a couple of platforms, and whenever you see it shoot up the teeth, quickly go up to the highest platform that you have, so that they can stick to it instead of all of your platforms. And after a little more than a minute we defeat it and get our dash accessory. We also get a summon weapon, but if I remember correctly, the Belladonna is better. After a couple of Reforgers for more damage, we go to the desert so that we can find the ancient medallion, put one platform in the air and spawn the desert scourge. I'm not sure if that is the case in Infernum as well, but if I remember correctly, you can inflict a dot on each one of the segments and it deals a massive amount of damage. So if you can get a fire debuff from something like the Magma Stone or poison from something like the Snapthorn, it should shred him. Again, after less than a minute he's defeated, and after placing the trophy we can go back to the desert, where we dig down to the sunken sea, put 2 houses for the sunken pylon, and make a little arena for the giant clam, for which we will use the Stormjaw staff, as the clam spends a very good amount of time on the platform standing still. I'm not very used to its attacks, alongside that I suck at dodging, but after we kill him we go around the sea searching for a ghost bell, as they can drop the voltaic jelly, which increases the max number of minions we can have by 1 and allows our minions to inflict static discharge, a dot that deals 10 damage per second for moving enemies. After that we teleport to the Sulphurous Sea, where our last Crimson Cave entrance is, so that we can get to the chest that has the Crimson Effigy, which gives us 15% bonus damage, 10 defense, but reduces our max life by 10%. Then we go to our Crimson that is closest to our spawn, make a little arena and prepare for another boss. I wanted to defeat Brian first, but then I saw the Perforator Cyst just staying there, and I thought to myself, you know what, fuck it, we ball. When we defeated the giant clam earlier, we bought the enchanted conch from Amidias because I thought they would do an amazing job for ground enemies, and I thought that it would be doing a very good job against the perforated worms, but that was not the case. They were not doing anything, so we switched back to the Belladonna. But after apparently 4+ minutes, we defeat the perforators and we quickly go underground where we put 2 platforms and jump into the brine fight. And after a minute and a half, we go back home, place the 2 new trophies, and with the perforators defeated, we can finally mine aerolite ore and get new armor and wings, but most importantly, with Brian defeated, we can make the Deathbringer pickaxe so that we can mine Hellstone and finally get a new summon weapon. So after a little grind, we make the Imp Staff, the Skyline wings, and the Aerospec armor. After that we go to the dungeon where we make a good open arena so that we can fight Skeletron, and after using our clock to change the time with 2 back-to-back blood moons, we make it night and roll right into it. One tip when you're fighting Skeleton: when he starts shooting his line of skulls downwards, if you have enough platforms you can go above him and hit him for absolutely free. He only shoots one little skull at you, but it doesn't go very far up, so if you have enough distance you will never get hit. But very surprisingly to me, after almost 2 minutes we managed to first try Mr. Bones, which does put a smile on my face. After which we immediately dive into the dungeon for a Cobalt Shield, but most importantly a Bewitching Table. We then go back home, we place the trophy, quickly massacre another King Slime for the Slimy Saddle, make the Shroom Sprout, the Deer Thing and the Overloaded Sludge, and jump right into the Crabylon fight, which we almost no hit if it wasn't for a little accident. But after 30 seconds we take care of our crab problem and move straight into the Deerclops fight. After we defeat the God-Ear, some of you may get that reference, we place the trophies and get a new sentry weapon which will replace our squirrel. We make our way to the jungle, and after going underground until we find a new giant hive, we tactically flood it and summon the Queen Bee. Which we also tactically put in the wall when she starts using her mini arena attack. But after this little blunder, we fight her again so that we can get enough bee wax for our next armor. This time she hilariously goes into the water while she's doing her mini bullet hell attack so that our imps can do jack shit since they cannot hit underwater. Luckily, our fungal clump was trying its best, which is all that matters. After going back home, we make our new bee armor, which gives us more summon damage and one more minion compared to the air spec armor, reforge everything and prepare for the slime god. As a little tip, when you spawn slime god, the slime acts almost the same way as the slime king, which means that you can again stay in one place and here and there jump a little if a bow is coming towards you. But again, insanely surprisingly to yours truly, we managed to first time Slime God as well, even though we were pretty close to passing on. But now it's time to go into the Abyss, so we can get our hands on a herring staff, which in Infernum is actually a pain in the ass. Infernum changes the Abyss in a very major way. It makes some of the weapons droppable from some enemies, others are craftable, but the herring staff needs to be caught with a net, which on paper is fine, but this beautiful fish refused to spawn. I was using my battle cry, which increases the spawn rate massively, but it was too much and I was not seeing a single herring. After that I only used the battle potion so it increases the spawn rate just a little, but after 10 painful minutes I finally caught my herring, and it is time to go down to hell for our final boss, the Wall of Flesh. I was thinking of using the Fargo Insta Obsidian Bridge, but honestly it's the Wall of Flesh we're talking about. Do we really need an arena? We throw the voodoo dough in and dive right in. Even though we made a blunder or two, at the end of the day it's the wall, so it's not a surprise that we steamrolled through it in exactly 1 minute. But with all of that, we have defeated every single pre-hard mode boss, and in the next one we will be enjoying that juicy hard mode content. If you guys want to experience that, don't forget to steamroll that like and subscribe button, and feel free to let me know what you think in the comments. All my social media will be in the description, and if you want to make sure to never miss out on a video, give them a follow, as I always post whenever a new video is uploaded. And as you know, I have a Patreon, and if you guys wish to support me further, go check it out. Optional as per usual. I want to thank you all so much for watching my somewhat skilled ass, and I hope you will join me in the next one. Beekeeper, Lord of the Imps, Vi, out.